stream till almost 2 o'clock. Silly me. Happy Easter Sunday. So far the weather's not too terrible. I'm actually gonna... Nope, wrong direction. There we go. That way there's not as much of a light glare. Now, originally, what I was going to do for this being live stream number 5, and where we are in the plot, I was going to proceed to go to the Underground Society. There's just a teeny tiny hiccup with that. There are going to be some other stuff I do have to do later tonight, and because I didn't get to the live stream until almost 2 o'clock, I don't think we'll have time to journey the whole Underground Society. So what we're going to do today, instead, is just journey around Mount Battle, which I'll also have to rearrange my Pokemon team when we get back to Mount Battle, because what I'm going to do is goof around a little bit in the form of trying to purify more than one Shadow Pokemon, and train Plusle on the side. I want to get Plusle to level 30. But yeah. Ow, I bit my lip. So as much as this pains me, I have to put everybody but Espeon and bench. We're gonna put Plusle in the party, because what level are you at, Plusle? You're level 20, so it won't take forever. But what we're now gonna start doing is finally start training Mistavius for Shadow Pokemon purification process. Let's continue. Oh, and I better give Plusle the XP share item too. Give to Plusle. Yep. Now, if Stage 2 is just as, or Area 2 is just as easy as Area 1, then I don't think anybody will have anything stronger than a level 25 or 30. Ah, see right there, level 20. Knockdown, she's almost ready to be purified. Let's go Fly and Shadow Rush on. Sorry, I didn't mean to press that button so fast, but hey, Plusle is now level 21. Now I gotta send on to attack. Just to be funny, how about a block? Alright, so I possibly even Sudowoodo purified after stage 2, but I might have to grind a little bit through stage 3 to get all the way. So well, that was a surprise. I didn't know Noctowl. I didn't know she was already fully unlocked. Wasn't paying attention to the TV. So yeah, we'll definitely purify Noctowl or be able to definitely, no questions, keep dropping purification on Noctowl after this, but I don't know if we'll have to grind through stage 3 to be ready to purify Sudowoodo and excuse me, and Yanma should be on the team, but I don't think I've had Yanma fight in any matchups. Maybe that one time where I went to the Pyrite Colosseum and got my butt kicked on camera. That's a very unusual attack, in my opinion, for Grimer of all Pokemon to possess. Let's risk, I guess, a Shadow Rush from Grimer. Oh wow. Thinking. Funny enough, I kind of like Grimer and Muff. When I did the, we now have one character, nice. Back when I had Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, you can actually get Grimer as a Shadow Pokemon, and I actually liked having Grimer as a part of my team, alongside with, Roltz, that eventually became a Carnivore, ironically enough outside of Espeon, so there's that. Of course, in my very, very first playthrough of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, I didn't go for the Espeon route, I actually went for Flareon. Oh, and I need to swap Pokemon, because now that Noctowl is fully unlocked, let's start training Yanma. I'm glad that it's conveniently, as far as I remember, heals you after every battle automatically, so that's pretty great. I think I might need to also adjust my TV for game mode. Water Bulge. Yeah, again, I haven't really been in my party long enough to have hardly anything, so you... Fair enough. Not terrible, is it? Uh-oh. Nice. Yanma, while in hyper mode, Sudowoodo, try to... Booyah! Now, I think going through a Pokemon Center, not Shadow Pokemon, out of Hyper Mode, but I could be wrong. Encore, we don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it. Off the top of my head, I can't officially remember. I want to say you get Flustle and Ruby, but you get Minun and Sapphire. So yeah. But I could be wrong. I will admit, though, sometimes when I play this game, I do wish I still had a copy of Ruby and a Game Boy SP to play on. I do miss the Hoenn region era. It also makes me wish I had one of those Game Boy controller converter devices so you can hook up to the Game wacky percentages for how you could start the game off with a shiny variant or variants of your starters. I don't know what that statistic is, and I don't know what the statistics are to do stats, do levels, the sex of your Pokemon. I don't know how that works. I do know you can't breed your Pokemon in this game because as far as I know there's only one daycare spot in the whole game, and the daycare lady will only babysit one Pokemon, so there's that. Very cute, kid. Very cute. I'll say the one thing I don't like about going to Mount Battle, now I think about it, Yuki doesn't follow you through Mount Battle, it's just you and Wes. Calm down, young. Alright, Yama. 1 bar down, 4 to go. Oh. Excuse me, YouTube. Allergies are acting up all of a sudden. Yeah. Then again, the weather's... Whoops. Then again, the weather's being a little, up and down. Oh, cool. Okay, we got Supersonic. Fair enough. Aww. Let's see how many of you will go into fever mode. Nope. So I was optimistic about Sudowoodo possibly being ready to be purified after grinding through stage 2, but I was very, very wrong. So we're gonna definitely have to grind through stage 3. Area 3, I mean to say, but yeah. Alright, so let's go Shadow Rush. I want to try and make them I actually want them in Hyper Mode on purpose because I want to try getting closer to expanding the bars. Russell's level 23, that's good. In this fight, neither of them are wanting to be eager to go into Hyper Mode. That's crazy. Normally, it's funny, they don't go to Hyper Mode when I don't want them to go to They never go to Hyper Mode when I want to go to Hyper Mode, and then they go to Hyper Mode when I don't want them to go to Hyper Mode. Very funny. wish that the sequel had like a secret boss fight where you get to encounter like Wes, like plot twist. Wes becomes like area 10, floor number 100. The final boss of Mount Battle in the XD Gala Darkness sequel. I really wish they would have done that with the game. It would make sense because the sequel comes out 5 years in the plot line, I mean, because the game came out a year after, but the plot of the game was 5 years from the original story. It would have been a perfect opportunity to still incorporate Wes into the game, at the very least, Wes, by, you know, having him be the final floor boss, but they didn't do that. Okay, finally we got hyper mode going in again. Didn't really do much before. Alright, Yama, we are going to calm you down. Let's go for a low kick. I don't know if that would help. Alright, had to answer some texts. I'm always getting text messages or having to answer texts every other time I stream. If not every time I stream at this point. Okay. Mary thanks with one little HP. Okay. Yay! trying to get them all the way to level 30. I want to look at my Pokemon real quick. Plus is a boy. Alright. Wait. Oh my, she believes in aggressive tutoring. I think you can catch Sharpedo, which is the oddly enough evolved form of Carvana, because, like, with Carvana, you've got a Piranha. Whereas with Sharpedo, it's like a pygmy shark or whatever. And I'm like, why would they have a Piranha evolve into a tiny shark that slightly resembles that shark bone from the Little Mermaid movie sequel, you know what I mean? I'm like, why? How does that even work out? Alright, we'll go into stage 3 with 4 bars on Pseudo Widow. And what's funny is we haven't done any training yet with Miscavius, but at the same time, to my understanding, you know, Pokemon, Shadow Pokemon, are supposed to naturally have their hearts open up slowly but surely, the more they journey with you and the more you fight with them just being in your party. So, I mean, at the same time, I mean, by the time I get Miscavius in her first fight, I want to say they'll have at least 2 bars already open. But again, we won't be seeing Miscavius until we're ready to bench Sudowoodo, and we're not benching Sudowoodo until Sudowoodo gets all their hearts open. Wow, so my Miscavius is actually a boy. Right as I say that, I think it, and then I'm like, nope, Miscavius is a dude. I'm Arth, the genius area leader variety. That's me, Arth. Okay, let's see if you can go on or not. Battle, battle. Ugh. I will say, I don't remember all the area leaders, but Vander, the guy we saved earlier in the story and fought in the last live stream, so far so good. He's like the only real cool guy in the group so far. Art's just kind of, you know, he's there. And from appearance, it might be that all area leaders just naturally have 5 Pokemon. Interesting kind of structure, but yeah, very interesting. Good job, Sudowoodo. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make them go into hyper mode as much as I can in this fight. Ow. Not very effective. Wow. Hidden missile. Poor Sudowoodo, she's getting beat up. It's funny, I can't remember if Pokemon started representing different sexual physical traits with Pokemon until Generation 4 or not. Because I know female Pikachus now, as of like Generation 4 or 5, they have like a heart-shaped curved tip of their tail. Alakazams, they just have smaller, shorter, like nose whisker whatevers. I'm trying to quote Venusaurs because I know Venusaurs have different physical structures if it's a boy or a girl, but off his side. That's funny. But yeah. So my Mistavius is not a girl, but he is just very androgynous. Let's just go in the same zone. I'm gonna risk a Shadow Rush with Yanma and call on Suruda. I think I've had 2, if not 3 episodes of my Shadow Pokemon because they were in hyper mode had a hissy fit at me. I had 1 Shadow Pokemon on live stream, if I remember correctly, Retreat. I had 1 Shadow Pokemon injure itself, and then I think it said, despite being in hyper mode, they reluctantly decided to finally perform the move you told them to perform. It's been a while. Alright, so Yanma's almost fully at 3, so I believe we'll be able to purify Yanma and Sudowoodo after grinding through Station. But I might most definitely have to grind through Stage 4. Wow. Okay, fair enough. But I'll more than likely have to grind through Stage 4 to get Mistavius ready to be purified. Let's try to KO. And hopefully my sinuses won't bother me too much for the next 30 minutes to where I can actually learn my mask a little bit. Okay, good. Plus we'll finally rose to 125. That's cool. Okay, then. What's that rock slide? Yay, coupons. Oh, I do? I have to talk to the receptionist first? I don't think we need to save yet. I can't remember if Mount Valve's environment changes at level or area 4 or 6. probably also be like Area 4 when Pokemon start getting tougher, because this is Area 3. I'm actually shocked Area 3 doesn't have any Pokemon that are level 30 yet. Or maybe the area leader, whomever they are, will have some level 30s. Oh yeah, I forgot. Rock Slide's an AoE effect. I forgot about that one. Oh wow. I'll get a double KO for this one. Oh hey, cool, Yama actually has Sonic Boom. That's cool. I don't think Ash ever had it yet. Well, now my dogs are losing their shit, so yeah, I gotta put the live stream on pause for a second because my dogs are going cuckoo crazy BRB. And we're back. And the Pokemon are slowly but surely getting a little on the side side. What's funny is I think it was in Generation 5, Black and White, or it was Generation 6, X and Y, where they actually finally changed the Curlia evolutionary trait based on male or female, because it was then when they decided that if it's a female Curlia, it'll evolve into a Gardevoir, but if it's a male Curlia, it'll evolve into that other Pokemon whose name I forget how to say.
but I'm gonna try. Yeah, I didn't think it would. Oh. And now I remember that, Vampy and Johto. Vampy was kind of a unique and adorable Pokemon concept for Ash. It was hatched from an egg, and I thought that was cool. I think that was, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Ash's first egg Pokemon. I will kick on Vampy. And then, I can't remember if it was Black and White or X and Y, but then Ash brings back Vampy back into the party, and then Vampy evolves into Donphan. And it's funny because in the Pokemon movie, they actually showcase a Donphan in the movie. That was bizarre and crazy because like Pokemon have that weird habit of just showcasing Pokemon from the generation to come a lot of times in movies and stuff and all that stuff. Like they showcased Munchlax in the Pokemon Poland region movie, and I can't remember what it was called. It was too many years. It's been too many years, but it was the one with Rayquaza and Deoxys. So it's that wandering Munchlax that walked around the city where Ash and friends were hanging out at. Okay, so, yeah, these guys are, maybe that was, yeah, that was fun. Well, it dealt some decent damage to Vampy. And that Vampy will not go down. But then again, I kind of clicked Rocket Light by accident, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Alright, so Yanma, you take 5, and we will use Sudoku to Rock Slide. Alright. I think I might get Yanma and Sudowoodo's final... Oh, screw Sandshrew. What the hell, you guys? I might get, Sudowoodo and Yanma's, hard bars hopefully maxed out, if not at the same time, pretty close to each other, but we're still gonna have to grind through stage 4, no doubt, to get Mistavius's, hard bar to be unlocked. Alright. Boom. Take that. Yeah, damn, the little long thank you. Dun dun. We're gonna check on this baby. Aww. Well, Mistavia, I don't know. Maybe their hearts don't naturally open up when you journey through Mount Battle like you do in the open world. Or maybe we have too many shadow Pokemon for Mistavius to naturally just by themselves open up his heart bar. I don't know. I do not know. experiment a little. I'm gonna see what happens when I have my webcam down here. That way you can actually see the opponent's Pokemon and that kind of stuff. Shadow Rush and calm down to the Widow. To the Widow, calm down please. Yay. Good job, Gemma. Oh, wow, Yanma's gonna be ready before Pseudo-Widow, that's crazy. Fair enough. Alright, Yanma, let's use, nope, Sonic Boom. Let's go try Rock Slide, be funny. Fossil's level 27 now. I didn't even notice that Fossil was level 26, so I was too busy looking away from the screen or something. I also forgot to check how the conversation looked on your guys' side when I was talking about it. Whoops. Let's see what happens when my webcam's down here, not up there. Well, smaller plants easy enough to see, but that's good. Okay, so yeah, it cuts out a little bit when I do it like this, or stuff like move select, but not anything important to say so far. And then, oh, that's small things. Doesn't really seem to cut out too much. You don't really see that much. Not there. Not really important really right there. You do sort of get it cut off when you're digging through the inventory stuff. Well, so far so good. This is a pretty good spot for my webcam. Doesn't really cut anything off when trying to. Yeah, that's cool. Well, you student who wanted a private lesson. I pretty much said Pseudo-Widow and Yanma would probably be ready to be purified at the same time, side by side together. And sure enough, it did happen that way. Low kick probably would have been the more conventional choice and to target Houndour, but at the same time, I went for the Rock Slide. Well, actually, Houndour is a fire type, and rock attacks are effective against fire types, so lesson if the teacher loses. Okay, that's funny. Funny! I'm not really much of an instructor right now, so now we've got Yenma and Sudowoodo all nice and purified. So now we're gonna lead with Mistavius and Espeon. Hello. Let's see, I don't think Mistavius really has any progress in his heart bar. Nope, there's not. Oh, critical. Okay. Why are you bullying my ghost friend? Just realized that attack won't have any effect. Yeah, I almost forgot. Oh, return doesn't affect ghost types. Fair enough. It's a ghost on ghost fight. When will the ghost on ghost feeling end? I think a Swift would. Wow! I literally can't touch this ghost with Espeon. This is crazy. Please do not kill Mistavius. Okay, that's fine. So because none of Espeon's moves can now it'd be better to heal Mistavius. Just in case, because Mistavius could go into hyper mode if I try to attack again. Okay, I did that at the same time. I decided to go for precautionary. But you never know. But yeah, like, because Espeon's a psychic type, and yeah, none of his moves could affect Duskull. Alright. No, we don't need fake tears. Stop putting fake tears, yes. Sorry, Colosseum. Okie dokie, let's get this over with quick. Well, at least I won't have trouble with this thing. My top's a psychic type and slack off went naturally lazy. Alright, let's see how Psybeam does. Nice. Hey, the Pokemon are almost level 30 now. Okay, Mistavius. I think Mistavius has an evolved form in Generation 5 or 6 with X and Y or Black and White. I know Murkrow has an evolved form in one of those two generations, I just don't know when. Oh hey, we unlocked Confuse Ray, that's good. Steel type and a rock type. Yeah, it may not have been very effective, but it did almost half his health, so suck it. I think we can actually get a Shadow Bowwell in this game. Maybe it's like Sea Gale of Darkness. I want to say it's in one of these two games, but let's... One more confusion here, but Shadow Rush on Beaver. Rock Crow. Ooh, wow. Did not think it would hit that hard. Let's try a Psybeam. Dun-dun. Alright, let's see what's the story. I'm Renson. I'll be providing the finishing touch to Area 3. We got a Staryu and a Horsey. So, Area 3 does get tougher, but not by too much. I think the real challenge, if not in Area 4, it'll be somewhere between 5 and 6. Because I think between Area 5 and 6, that's when all the Pokemon will be, like, no weaker than, like, level 35. Now, party size, I don't know. But so far from what I'm also seeing, is so far all the area leaders only seem to have 5 Pokemon in their party. Yep, just 5. Let's go with Psybeam, Volbeam, Shadow Rush, Corki. Let's just get more OP. Then again, Espeon's like 5, 6 levels higher than them all, and has the push extend. Stadius won't go into hyper mode, which is kind of sucking right now, but oh well. Because I would like to start off Area 4 with Stadius having at least 2 of his hard bars open. Alright, Espeon, let's fight. You can hear Shadow Rush on. Oh wow, these are the last 2 Pokemon too. Take that. And another one Shadow, another one Shadow, and another one Shadow Rush. And I don't remember if Fossil's level 28 or 29. Yay, we're going to the break room to get some coupons. Let's advance. I am going to actually save just in case. And then, Fossil, how you doing? You are level 29. You know, I got a crazy idea. I actually have to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. I actually have to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. So I got a crazy idea. And I'm back. So I'm actually going to try something kind of crazy. Because Fossil only really needs 700 XP. What I'm actually going to do is switch with Espeon. Oh wait, well, just one second. And receive the XP share. Yep. And we're just gonna have a couple of fights with Fossil in the front row, fighting alongside like Davis or whomever joins in. Okay, it was actually stage 4 where the area changes up. Now we're more in a volcano kind of environment. Pretty cool. Alright. We've got a Togepi up, and hey, we've got level 30s now. Alright. And a Slack Off, this will be an easy fight. Alright, so we have quick attack and we do have stun. Let's go with Shadow Rush and fair enough. Fair enough. that was an improvement. He got paralyzed. Nice. And dang, Mercedes is just getting lucky with not having to go to hyper mode. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, that's fair. So, park again. That's fair. Another wish, which sounds like they're going to try and do that. So, puzzle, park, and wide, and I want this by dragging on. Poor Togepi. Togepi's feigning animation is, oh no, I'm scared, that's so cute. And hey, Plusle's finally level 30, so we don't need to train Plusle anymore. I always thought Plusle was both a cool but a kind of a lame concept, in all fairness, because we rescued Plusle from Duking, and I get that the concept of Duking giving us Plusle to raise him up and train him up, but, like, yeah, I mean... But, like, I mean, because of where you are in the story, if you wanted to go to, like, Phoenix City one more time before going to the Agate Village to purify Shadow Pokemon, you could have a third party member with Plusle in the Phoenix City Colosseum, which it's cool, but Plusle starts off at, like, level 13, I think is what it is, and what the summary said, and I'm like, hey, that's cool. Well, I got bad news for you, buddy. Even though it took me 2 tries and a whole lot of revives and hyper potions, I kicked Justy's ass. Well, okay, to be more honest, Justy of Phoenix City pre-gym kicks your ass, or at least my ass, more so than anything, but still. So let's go Confusion and Mysterious Retail Apologies. Alright, so Mysterious is doing better. So Plusle is now all charged up and all trained up to level 30. And we've almost got halfway with Mysterious, which is great. I will say Sudowoodo A is a cool Pokemon, and because Sudowoodo's a rock type, I would say Sudowoodo would make a potentially good teammate for my party. The only downside is I'm kind of partial to who I primarily have in my party, which would be Espeon, obviously, because that's your Eevee Pokemon, and was also one of your 2 original partners. And then factor 2, we've got Hariyama. And don't get me wrong, Hariyama's just a really good Pokemon and a fighting type. Whereas Hitmontop is more DPS and speed, but still. So the reality is, like, that's why I'm so conflicted about Hariyama versus Hitmontop. But with Sudowoodo, I mean, they could be, instead of a fire Pokemon with Macargo, they could be the rock type instead of you. And like Ampharos is just really good to have because electric move type set, and because as Flappy, she always helped us catch Shadow Pokemon with Thunder Wave and stuff like that. So there you go. Quagsire is obviously the first water type Pokemon battle against Minor B because Quagsire was more the tankier option, and also we hadn't caught Mantine yet until much later, so there was that too. So there you go. I am due for a shit because my neck is getting itchy and exactly. So yeah, but I like Mantine better, so that's why I benched Quagsire and went with Mantine. Yeah, Quagsire is arguably maybe a better water Pokemon than Mantine because Quagsire has a you can't hurt me with electric move type set because I'm also part ground type. So yeah. So I just really like Mantine. Mantine's a cooler looking Pokemon. It's bizarre that Mantine's a flying type, but it's cool. I was not reading that properly, so I have no clue what the heck the game just got Abracus did. But at the same time, I like Carabat's Gustavus is almost at full bars. Yeah, that's fair. Mean look. Let's just be funny and try that real quick. I think Mean Look drops a paralysis ability or a burning effect. I don't remember. You don't say, Granny, you don't say. Oh, sorry, Granny. I kind of already have a lady friend right now. Her name is Susie. Alright. Damn it, it's rough. Well, good for you, you spoiled little twerp. working on his fourth bar for unlocking his heart. I don't think he'll enter hyper mode as often. I might be wrong, I don't know. I know that Yama and Suda Widow would go up and down about having hyper mode, but I don't know. And now with the way that these next two battles are going, I might have to grind through Area 5 to get Mercedes his bars unlocked. No, it's down. Good for you, buddy. I know that a shiny Espeon is weirdly enough green, and a shiny Umbreon, to my understanding, looks the same except instead of yellow and gold bar stripes, it has like a shade of blue. So, I think that's how you identify a shiny Umbreon. As for the other breeds, I don't know. And then, and by three I mean original trilogy. And then, as for Glaceon, Leafeon, and Sylveon, I don't know. I don't even know how you would get Sylveon, because I know in the later generations they just created ice stones and made it to where leaf stones would evolve into Leafeon and Glaceon. Yay, hyper mode. That means yay. Alright. I think this is opponent number 37 or 38. I can't remember. Okay, it's what I want to have happen, but it's kind of ridiculous that happens so soon, alright. I think we'll be able to get Mercedes ready for purification after stage 4. Alright. I was a little worried about that. I love your eagerness, Gustavus. I really, truly do. Oh yeah, we're guaranteed. Yeah. Alright, let's go for a side beam. And hey, we got Shadow Ball! That mean let's just be funny. Oh, that hurts. Damn, I wasn't expecting it for it to rip. Peel back so damn hard. Whew. It's always like the middle finger with that thing where any yell generates. Always has the more sensitivity nature, whatever weird reason. I don't know. Hey, Espeon's gonna level up after this fight, that's cool. Let's do Confusion and Shadow Ball. And all of my opponents now are like rising up in level because like we started off with like level 30 and 31, but yeah, so either stage 5 is gonna be filled with like lowest level 35, or that might be the first stage where it's 40. I don't know yet. And because it's funny, Blast. Zap. Hit. Hug. Fun. Alright, let's see what the new area leader is. Anchoring area 4 is me. Trench. Go, go, go. Okay, so it's like some really tan beach looking guy. Okay. Nose pass and load. Alright, let's concentrate on the nose pass. I'm actually gonna call it there. Next time you can start a new challenge. Okay, have Abra. Yes, let's teleport. Yep. Hey Yuki, I am back. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is hit up storage. Because now we are going to put Plus Soul back in storage. And as for my team, I will call all of you back, or some of you I should say back, in due time. Because now we are going to go to Agate Village to purify our Shadow team. To the Agate Village! First Shadow Pokemon to purify, we're gonna do Mistavius. Well, technically not our first ever purified Shadow Pokemon, just first that we're purifying from this group. Psybeam for a ghost type. Confusing, but oh well. Nope. Alright. Next, Shadow Pokemon we're gonna purify? Yeah, let's do Noctowl. Yeah, I don't think they really showcased actually a lot of shiny type Pokemon and Pokemon except for the Johto region through Ash's young shiny Noctowl. Stealing, cool. Oh wow. Only 982? No, I'm good. Wow. I guess Noctowl didn't really get that much fighting time and all that other stuff, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, yeah, Mistavius was fighting in the later stages, which provided more XP. And I don't think Mistavius was fighting with having to share XP. Well, Yama is level 33, so that makes sense why they didn't level up. And now for Sudowoodo. Oh wow. I know. I'm actually shocked Sudowoodo got a level up out of that. So now, kind of what you have again? Wasn't you have detect? Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. I will admit, Yama has always been like a unique but very bizarre Pokemon in the bug type category because like they don't traditionally affiliate themselves with insect type moves. They have those weird loud supersonic breaks the sound barrier type moves. Kind of like how Whismer operates, kind of, sort of. But yeah. And now we save after a good hour and a half of grinding a mount battle and purifying some shadow Pokemon. And I would say, if I ever want to mix around my team, I'm actually going to drop Sudowoodo and the party box. And I'm also going to do the same with Yanma. As for Mistavius and Noctowl, nothing personal, I just don't feel it. So, sorry, but not sorry. And I guess what we'll do is drop you guys here. Like so. Now the only real kicker is I don't know if how I want to do this. Makara goes to level 41 because of situation A or B. Can't remember what it was, but yeah. Stretch. Because I do have to go and do some stuff again later this afternoon, so I'm not going to do the live stream for that much longer, which is why, sadly, we're not going to go to the underground like I thought we were going to do. And Monday, I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream or not, because I got a lot of early morning, afternoon stuff, so I might find some time to do a live stream Monday afternoon. If not, I would do it Tuesday, but I can't confirm that just yet. Because I mean, our quest of getting Plusle into level 30 is done, so yay. I don't know. Yeah, but because you can't take them to the Phoenix City Colosseum. And I really kind of sort of don't want to do a long Mount Battle grind again. I don't think I want to do this. Now begins the real question. Do we want a fire type, or do we want a rock type? And I think we are going to bring Sudowoodo into the fold. We're going to have Sudowoodo 110% in the fold. Yanma, I don't know when we'll bring you into the fold just yet, because at best you're a bug type, but you fight like a normal type. So... So when we go back to the underground, that's actually the team that we will have. But now that we have nothing but purified Pokemon in our party again, I'm going to end this live stream with just a little trip to Phoenix City to see how our team works. Because, I'm trying to think how we did Phoenix City the last time on camera. Because Phoenix City, you can't have Shadow Pokemon in the team. I know the first 2 times I went to Phoenix City, I think the first one was on live stream with Umbreon and Espeon. The second time was off camera, and I had Plusle. The third time, I don't think we had Plusle in party, but we did have Slugma, and we were trying to use the XP share to help Slugma get some XP. I don't remember everybody else who was part of the team back then. The last But all three times, it's always dropped a good $8,000 or $9,000, and I kind of want to make a cash invest, get some cash, and maybe make a small supply investment for the underground because the underground is kind of a tough terrain. Like, not just because of the shadow Pokemon, but rather because of how I remember the environment operating. Wow, glad to see that city hasn't changed with its Colosseum battles because, yeah, all the Pokemon are still only level 40. And also the guy who operates everything and all the components that operate only have two Pokemon for the finalists. Oh well, actually that will be in pink that is, so good for you. Oh yeah, Pick is a flying move and I'm electric. Dude.
Wow.
I will say I actually regret not doing one thing. And that one thing is finding a party member in my team and giving them the XP share. Because it would have been a fun little cheeky way to help to make this both a grind fest and cash fest. So I don't know. I might or might not do that off camera after the live stream. I don't know. Because in a way, doing it through Phoenix City is effective and also not effective. It just depends on who your Pokemon target is. Like with Puzzle, it's perfect. With Slugma, it was effective. But with the way my team is now, I don't really know if that's necessary. Maybe when Ramoray becomes purifiable, that's what we'll do. But at the same time, trying to find a place where you can safely purify Ramoray, that's tough as hell because outside of areas 1 and 2, Ramoray would get their butt owned. Now I know that if I were to go hike around Gate Village and find the cologne person, you can use colognes to like give your shadow Pokemon a massage to aid liking better and also unlock the doors of their hearts. So that is something I could do with Remoraid is just give them a crap ton of like cologne massages and then give them the XP share and do a stage grind in Mount Battle. Because I would also be doing that to make them become Ramoraid. Not Ramoraid, Octillery is what I meant to say. Yeah, Pokemon and their evolutions with fish-type Pokemon and stuff like that, it still does not make a lick of sense to me. Hell, the grass snake starter Pokemon from X and Y, I think is what it is. Like, their final evolution form, they look like a magic snake dragon made out of grass, but they don't have limbs. I'm like... And looking back, I'm like, why do you not have limbs anymore? Even though I didn't really play that generation, I'm like, what happened to your limbs? Oh, confused on how C-Dot was supposed to work as a Pokemon, but they didn't understand the move Bind at the time. Hey, between Mount Battle and Phoenix City Colosseum, my Espeon's getting pretty buffed now. Sucks to suck, bro. Hello, lady. Good luck with that. Glass? Glass? I don't know. No, glass says glaze? Glaze? I don't know. Would you pronounce it glass, glaze, glaze? I don't know. Fair. This is the finals. Mega Evolution forms, or however it's called, with Pokemon Legends AZ, you have Starmie, but Starmie's like now tall, gigantic, with like really long human legs. And I'm like, okay, interesting. You got paralyzed. Excuse me, I'm getting tired. Don't know why, just damn. Sorry, Pichu. Dun. I think in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, I want to say the items you can buy from Mount Battle are more synergized with the evolution items, but I can't confirm that. It's been too many years. 9,000, nice. PM number 22, let's look that up. Solar Beam! Yes! Alright, the time has come. Solar Beam! Wait, just a... Okay. Alright, I just want to double check. I was having like a weird wait, is that the right move? And I'm like, yep. Meganium! Alright, cool. I mean, that's the one I wanted to give it to, but it's kind of funny. Meganium's the only one who can learn it. Alright, so we need Sunny Day for the combo. Giga Drain is great, but we're gonna sacrifice Razor Leaf for it. Oof. That's twice I've used a TM that I've won a surprise from Meganium to try and beef up Meganium. First we sacrificed Synthesis for Giga Drain, and now we've sacrificed Razor Leaf for Solar Beam. Also, because I think Meganium also, when I purified Bayleaf and they evolved into Meganium, I think that's when they actually got Sunny Day, but I can't remember 110%. My cash is now up to 32,000. Yeah, 32,000. So what I'm going to actually do is, I want to inspect my, oceans. Oh, yeah, we found the hyper potions, so we basically got those for free. And I bled through those hyper potions. Nope, that's the mayor's house. Or it's somebody's house. I think it's the mayor's house. But yeah, now we're gonna first hit up this item shop to find some super potions and stuff like that for emergencies, maybe some revives. Actually, I think you have to go... Yeah, I forgot. We gotta go to Pyrite for revives, now that I think about it. The way that the item shops operate in the beginning of the game is very confusing, but at the same time, that was part of the theme in the lore for the Oron region, so it's fine. It is what it is. So we're gonna go back to Pyrite Town. I can never get enough of that theme song. Alright, good day, shopkeep. So I do want... could splurge a little bit on revives. So let's get 4 of these to have 5 in the bag. Huh, how about that? We can actually buy some hyper potions. The thing about hyper potions is, like, they do 200 HP, so... and I have so few Pokemon that even have more than 100 HP, so I'm gonna just stick to the Super Potion for right now. Let's do a dozen Super Potion. Now, it has been a while since I've caught a Shadow Pokemon, so come on, Yuki. It's cute that that happens, but it gets annoying sometimes. So now let's check our Pokeballs. We have 16 of those. We have some Ultra Balls, but I think now would be a good time to hit up, and because we've been farming on some cash. I know that in the underground there's going to be a Cypher Peon with a legendary Suicune for Shadow Pokemon, so I want to kind of try and invest into Timer Balls like what we did with Entei. But all of the opponents that are in the Under, I have no idea, and I can't quote all the Shadow Pokemon that we'll catch. I just know there's going to be, at least not including Suicune, there's going to be, I want to say, at least 7 or 10 in the Underground, so best to try and stock up and stuff, so we'll buy these 5 Timer Balls for our impending battle with the Suicune. And then, just to spice it up for precaution, we're going to buy these 5 Ultra Balls. And like that, we're not entirely broke, but we are now kind of low in cash. So now, going to swap the party just around 1 minute, because if my theory is correct, we're going to get into an involuntary Pokeball. Actually, real quick, before we do, no, Espeon needs to be in the team. Espeon needs to be in the team. But yeah, you're tough. No, still not ready for a rematch. Dang it, I keep, every other time I get to the outpost, that's when I want to fight Willy, you know? And the next time we fight him, both of his Zigzagoons will be Leiloons, or however you pronounce their name properly. But yeah, so no, like, I figured we'd advance enough time to finally fight Willy and his team for a 3rd time, but nope, hasn't happened yet. So I don't think the elevator girl is gonna jump us, not by pursuing like this, but I just have this feeling that, yeah, I knew it. I knew Skater Boy was gonna charge us, and I don't understand why. This will be like, first we had to fight him when we first discovered the hideout, then we had to fight him and the entire squad when I was looking up and down the hideout for giggles and trying to find the elevator key to see what I needed to do to find it. And then the 3rd time, which was the other live stream when I needed to go into this room to save and heal up for the impending battle with the underground and stuff like that. But why I had to fight him a 4th time, that's what I don't understand. I really, truly do. So I'm just glad, you know, I changed my team around just a little bit, but the irony Now I should have had Ampharos had her leading because being an electric type, she probably would have had speed advantage against Knockdown and stuff like that. So yeah. I know I'm not gonna get to hit him inside, get to hit her in time, so that's why I'm wasting it.
So yeah. Yeah.
At least Sinaloa was able to drop their hit, but low kick isn't effective against the flying type.
But I should have speed advantage against Knockdown to drop Fusion. I mean, I doubt Rockset could. I should see if I have a TM for Pseudo Widow. Ah, what?
Well, at least Knockdown's confused now, so that might be an advantage. Ah, you hurt yourself. Very good, Pseudo-Widow. Yeah, I need to try to replace the flail or the block with another rock type move if I have a TM for it. So I'm actually going to check that out for Pseudo-Widow. Too strong for me. Yeah, that's really annoying that every time I come to this hidden hideout that I get jumped by Skater Boy. Move your ass. So, first precautionary heal up. I don't think I have any other Pokemon in Ultra Balls. I think Sudowoodo was the only one that I caught with an Ultra Ball. All because, you know, he was Meyer-B's was the boss fight, and he was Meyer-B's Shadow Pokemon, so we don't need that. We're not really running. Already got, don't need Torment, Thief, Stealing, but we're not really working with Steel types or Flying types. No, I sadly do not have a TM to give to Sudowoodo. That is in an unfortunate circumstance for Sudowoodo. But, so when we go into the underground, I'm actually going to... Oops, wrong box. I'm actually going to hold off on training up any more Shadow Pokemon during the story progression, because, with the underground, I want to focus a little bit more, on my main party Synergy type Pokemon. And technically, where Sudowoodo sits, that's where I would have had Macargo. But this time around, I'm gonna experiment with Sudowoodo. But as you can see, we still have Mantine. We're still running Hariyama because she is our battle tank. And for us, because, you know, since the day we had her as Flaffy, she's always been our best ace support for catching Shadow Pokemon for the most part. Except for Sudowoodo. That one, we got lucky when Meganium was a Bayleaf and we got a paralysis with his Body Slam. We've got Mantine as our water type, and of course, Espeon as our EVN team lead because, yeah. But, with Pokemon like Meditite, Furret, and Quailfish, you know, and maybe even definitely Swablu, that's what we'll train them again in a different kind of live stream, like in another Mount Battle Grind live stream. Then we'll also do the same for Skip Bloom and reluctantly Dunsparce. I just can't explain why I don't like Dunsparce. It's just I never really cared for them. Never really got excited or enjoyed them. But with Ramarade, I'm gonna have to find the cologne case. Maybe when we leave the underground and stuff like that, I'm just gonna have to find cologne case, give Remoraid a bunch of massage therapy with cologne to unlock their heart, and then when they finally get purified, I'll give them the XP share, do a Mount Battle Grind or two, or just however long it takes, and give Remoraid all the XP that she needs to evolve into Octillery. But yeah. So this is like my reserve, because Umbreon, you know, they were part of the team, and yeah. Bustle, we trained them for King. Macargo, he was part of the team as a Slugma, but and because of our fire type, but right now, we're not working there. Oh, and you also sadly can't see it because of the bottom corner where my webcam cuts off, but there's Yanma. And then also, that's oddly enough where we have Entei. I think what I'll do actually is just, you know, let's move Yanma up here so you can actually see them. But because we haven't formally used Yanma as a party member, same with Entei, it's just... I kind of want to reserve the legendaries for the later game parts. And also until I get Raikou and Suicune, which we're on our way to get Suicune, but it's going to be a while till we get Raikou. Uh, Quagsire was part of the team as a Shadow Pokemon, but I chose Mantine as our Team Water. Him on top was actually pretty cool, pretty useful in some matchups with Slugma then made Macargo, but they just weren't really a teammate at the time, you know? Um, and of course, as I've said, Mustavius and Noctowl, you know, I caught them. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do this because we did technically catch Noctowl and before Mustavius, but Purified Noctowl at the same time as Mustavius could still. But yeah, yep. So that's where we're at with Pokemon Colosseum. No. Now it's time for a save. And when we come back, hopefully there will be no more like emergency meetings, emergency family stuff, helping them with stuff. I like helping my family, and I don't mind needing to delay streams for emergencies. But because I had to do a couple of delays and didn't get home till almost 2 o'clock, I just didn't really have enough time to go and do the whole story arc underground grind. So I can't say that I'll be doing a live stream on Monday because I do have a couple of stuff I gotta do on Monday and I don't know what time I'll be getting home. But I should be able to do a live stream Tuesday or Wednesday. So stay tuned for more. I am Rexamon of Rexamon Productions. I cannot thank you enough to any and all who watch my live streams and any and all who is a subscriber of my channel. Stay tuned for more adventures. Come again soon. I love y'all. Peace.